Hey crafty friends, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. Today I'm participating in a collaboration with my sweet friend Maria Nyce of Maria Nyce Designs. The challenge that we set for ourselves was to use any stamp by Lavinia Stamps and incorporate the rainbow theme. So that's the card I'll be making with you today. And if you're familiar at all with Lavinia, you know that Tracy will often use her gel plate, and I love that process. I just don't have a gel plate for a slimline size card. So I'm a resourceful kind of gal, and I decide to use my craft mat instead. So I brayered out some of my Arteza metallic acrylic paints, and then I put some splatter on there with some Pink Fresh Studio ink, and I just spritz that with some water until it's a splatterable consistency. And I lay my slimline paper down in there, and I pull it up to see what type of a print I get. And I wish that it showed better on camera, but it's very, very pretty. I actually made a couple panels like that. I just didn't show them all. And you guys know that I love this foliage stencil from Lavinia. And so I just lay that down and ink blend a little bit over the top of it just to have like a subtle texture at the top of my panel, and it's beautiful. I love it. So then I have this plan in my mind to make a rainbow row of unicorns on this panel. So I pull out my beautiful, beautiful unicorn, and then I have to plan and measure and count. And this is where it starts to go bad for me, because we all know numbers are hard for me. Plans are hard for me. So you can see my fingers. I'm counting, I'm Roy G. Biv, what's in the center, how many need to go on the left, how many will go on the right. So I get it figured out. I'm like, okay, yellow's in the middle of my Roy G. Biv. So here we go. I pull out my Ink on 3 Atelier inks, which I love these inks. And I stamp this yellow unicorn once. And I look, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's way too transparent. Let's try it one more time. Let's hit it again. Nope, still too transparent on stamp 2. Stamp 3. I let that ink sit on the paper a little bit longer. Just let it absorb and saturate. Nope. Let's hit it a fourth time. Let's see. It is getting darker. Let's see. No, fourth time didn't work, so we pull out a new ink pad, so maybe a different type of ink. So we hit it a fifth time with a new ink pad. You see, it's the Pink Fresh Studio again. I love my Pink Fresh Studio inks. I love all my inks, y'all. So 5, nope, didn't work. 6 times. I stamped this baby 6 times. And you just can still see that background through the silly stamp. So in this case, persistence did not pay off, and I had to come up with a different plan. So here's just a white background panel, and I'm again measuring and counting, and I already know that the yellow goes in the middle, so that much I've got. So while I stamp out this rainbow line of unicorns, I'll tell you a little bit more about my friend Maria Nyce and our decision to collaborate. So I met Maria several months ago. I think it was either late spring or I don't know. It's been several months. And we met on the Handmade Happiness group on Facebook. Now, if you're not familiar, I'll link Handmade Happiness below. And it was the brainchild of card maker Courtney Kreber. And again, if you're not familiar with Courtney, I'll link her down below as well. And of course, I'll link Maria down below. Especially, I'll link directly to her video for this collaboration. But Courtney created this group to be a support and encouragement, kind of a mentorship group for stampers and crafters who wanted to create an online presence, whether it was, you know, formulating a YouTube channel or a blog or an IG presence or Facebook or whatever. It was all about support and social media and the creative process. And we have just built so many wonderful friendships within and amongst that group, and the group is growing by leaps and bounds. And again, if you're not already a member over there on Handmade Happiness, I so encourage you to do so. Maria and I just clicked, and as we would have our little crafty collabs and video crafty times and stuff, Maria and I just clicked and we became friends outside of the group. And we both recognized that the busyness and the hurriedness that can come from having an online presence, and the fact that you have to dedicate and devote so much time to online things, and there's different responsibilities, and if you're on a design team, and it just can get heavy and overwhelming. So we wanted to create just for the sake of creation, and for lifting and building each other up, and for sharing our crafty skills that we know that we got from the Lord, and we wanted to use them to support each other and honor Him. So that was how our collaboration idea began. And we decided we were going to collaborate, and we went back and forth on what our first collaboration was going to be, and we finally settled on Lavinia stamps, anything by Lavinia, and the theme of rainbow. So you can see that my little rainbow parade is taking shape here, and I'm excited to see what Maria has created. She gave me a little bit of a sneak peek, and I'm so excited to watch her video when it goes live today. And we will be doing more collabs in the days, weeks, and months to come, and have no idea what it's going to look like or when they're going to be, because we're not setting a scheduled time frame, because we don't want to add that extra pressure to ourselves. We just want the creative process to flow and our friendship to continue to grow. So again, Maria Nyce, she is very nice. She's one of the sweetest people that I know. She's an encourager. She has a beautiful design sense. She's an amazing colorist. Her home is as beautiful as she is, and her creations are just as beautiful as well. Check her out, y'all. You have to check her out. So with all that being said, if you're not already a subscriber here, I'd encourage you to do so. I would sure appreciate it. And definitely subscribe to Maria. You will not be disappointed. So back to my card, guys. I have that all stamped out. I fussy cut that whole line of unicorns out, and you can see I'm still trying to salvage that background, and it just doesn't work with this particular card. So it's okay. I take a new direction, and this is another panel that I made in the beginning with the brayer and the paint, and it's just a little more subtle. And I decide that this might work better, but I want some texture. So I pull out this glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe. It's in a very soft green. It's not quite the bold green of the Atelier inks, but it works. It adds that little bit of sparkle and texture that I'm looking for, and it coordinates really well with the green that's already there. And of course it already has the purples on the background. So I use my dotted Swiss stencil from A Colorful Life Designs, and I love everything by A Colorful Life, but several of them have just taken my heart. And I'm a dots girl. I'm a polka dots girl through and through, and this one, as soon as I got it, I knew was a favorite, and I've used it I don't even know how many times, and I just got it last month. So I will link Colorful Life Designs, A Colorful Life Designs down below as well, and you won't be disappointed if you check them out, and I'll have a coupon code for that as well. So what you don't see is that once that panel with the polka dots was dry, I mounted it onto a solid green piece of cardstock, and then I mounted all of that together onto my card base, and I've got that up under my craft mat to dry. And I put things under my craft mat because it helps them to be flat. And you know, because sometimes with moisture or with moving, things get a little bit warped, or you know, they bend and flop a little bit, and I didn't want that, so I wanted it to be as flat as it could be. So here I'm using some more of that Walmart Fun Foam. This is obviously the self-adhesive one. So I covered that back panel with that Fun Foam, and I'm using a little bit of wet glue to adhere it down. Anytime you're mounting something onto texture or glitter or something like that, you want to use a wet adhesive, because a dry adhesive just isn't going to give you the bond that you're looking for. So I mount it all down, and I think it's cute. It's still a little bit busy, but I like it a lot. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I need a sentiment. So I went through all of my stamps, and I found this sentiment. It says, "How rare and beautiful you are," and I heat embossed it. The sentiment is from one of the Pink Fresh Studio floral stamp sets, and I'll have that linked below as well. And I heat emboss it with my Ink on 3 Black as Night embossing powder. And what I also didn't show, and I don't know why I didn't show that, but I spritzed the unicorns as well as the back panel with my shimmer spritz, and I wish the camera picked it up. You just can't see it. You see it a little bit better in the next, in this image. You can see that there's a little more shimmer and sparkle. How rare and beautiful you are, and I believe that of each one of you, and especially of Maria. Y'all go check her out, and remember to subscribe to her channel. And if you're not already a subscriber here, I'd appreciate it if you would. And this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Thank you for joining me for another crafty venture, and I'll catch y'all again next time. Thanks. Bye.